It's a pleasure to meet you. Welcome to the United States.
Thank you. It's a pleasure because I heard about you. I've not met you.
Well, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much. So there's a million things I want to ask you about. I'd like to ask you about Sai Baba. I'd like to ask you about Muktananda and Gurumai, and what's going on in India with other cases and your work. So perhaps if you would like to start with Sai Baba.
Would you first like to say?
My name is Steve Hassan.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm a therapist.
Premanand.
Yes.
See, Sai Baba, I was interested because my father was believing in him first. But before he died, he had said that he's a cheat. But when he saw some of the tricks of this government, he thought he was a god, people who can create things. So I made a note of the things which he was doing, and also worked as a devotee of his to know what he was doing.
So you were a devotee?
I am a devotee of all the government. I am a life member of all the ashrams, without which I can't go inside and first we have to be a life member, show money, then they get interested. Without money, nobody will be allowed there, except that you have to go sit outside and go. You don't know the internal fights and things going on. So I had to spend about 9 crores of rupees to get into the good books of Sai Baba by gifting 90 acres of my land to his college, and the case is still going on.
90 acres. So you gave this intentionally in order to investigate?
Yes. Intentionally. And case is going on to get back the land and give it to the poor people because he has not utilized it for the college. It was given to start a college in the place where we were born.
I see.
It has not been yet started. So the government order was that the college has to be started within 2 years and the entire area utilized. Otherwise, the exemption given is cancelled.
I see.
That is the order of the government. And I got interested, and I found a lot of interesting things. Since 1980, I was the first person who wrote a book against Sai Baba in 1976.
What was the name of that?
Lure of Miracles.
The Lure of Miracles.
And no newspaper dared to publish it. Because I met many people like Kushwan Singh, who is also in the Gurubusting series. He's a rationalist. His son is our editorial board of this magazine.
I see.
But he said, when I met him in 1976 to get it published in one of the most prestigious weeklies in India, Illustrated Weekly of India.
Yes.
That was there for 150 years.
Yes.
Oldest.
And they did a story, I know, on
Kushwan Singh is a dangerous man. Muktananda came in that also.
Yes.
So what happened? He said I can't because the owners, the proprietors will find it difficult, so I can't publish it. And he was the person who directed me to go and meet Rajneesh. It was in 1976.
To meet Rajneesh?
She said he has the most beautiful secretary in the world. So you have to go and meet her. So I got enamored. I thought, let me see the most beautiful lady. That is another story. We'll keep it aside. And this book was released by my predecessor, Dr. A.T. Cole, who has done great things in investigation of God, and who first brought the challenge, like Houdini and even before James Randi, we had our challenge in 1959. Previously, Houdini was challenging. Then John Scon's challenge. John Scon, one magician. And James Randi, everybody came in 1969, 70. But our challenge was there even before. And he was known all over the world in most of the places. And he inspired me to take up this work because he saw my research work. Why are you keeping it silent? Use it for the people.
Right. And so you become an expert magician who...
I'm not an expert magician. I had to learn magic to know about miracles.
Yes.
And my brother is an expert magician. He is also the international vice president of IBM, for American International Brotherhood of Magicians. This year he has been, last year has been elected the international vice president.
Really? I didn't realize that.
He's my younger brother. And he is better than me because he knows about 16 languages also, including Japanese.
Oh my God. That's great. So, let's go back to Sai Baba, just because in America there's so much recruitment now going on, and people view him as a great holy man. So, for someone who doesn't know anything at all about Sai Baba...
First thing I came to know was from one of his lady secretaries, who became the lady secretary of another godman, claiming to be the avatar of Shirdi Sai Baba again. Because at that period there were more than 12 Shirdi Sai Baba's avatars.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
There is one man called Shirdi Sai Baba,
who
died in 1918. He was a great philosopher, because I am not against any philosophy, I am only against miracles. A person can preach any philosophy he wants. If people are there to accept, I am not against religion or God also. Now that is the first superstition. I don't believe, but I don't mind others following what they want. Because it's the right of every man to believe or not to believe.
Yes, that's what I think too.
So, he was very famous, and almost all religious people were following him. Like Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Parsis were his devotees. So to gain money after his death, there was fight for the... He didn't have any money. He died a pauper, staying in a temple where there were no doors even, sleeping on a stone. But actually every religion or a cult starts when a philosopher, not the cult leader, philosopher dies, and the rest of the people wants to exploit him. Like Christianity. Christ didn't start Christianity. It was after 100, a person who put him on cross, Roman Empire started Christianity. To exploit people in the name of God.
Interesting. So this other Sai Baba died, and there was a
there
fight.
were about 12 people, and 11 people we have taken action against them, and they were in jail and they died. But this man, we could not do anything because he was connected with the government.
With the government, politically connected.
Because a lot of corruption was going on, smuggling activities, and it was done through this man. So, the first thing I came to know was his blessing ladies with children. That was his earlier secretaries who left him and became the secretary of another avatar of Shirdi Sai Baba, one Muslim, Bashir Baba. And she told me, where are you coming from? I said, Coimbatore. Then she said, you go and meet this lady, that is, whom Sai Baba is blessed with a child. And she was the wife of a lieutenant, what you call, major general in the military. And he didn't have children, so Sai Baba came and stayed with his wife for about 15 days. She got pregnant, and the child, when we announced this, that lady was divorced, and she was staying in Coimbatore with the son.
But Sai Baba claims to be celibate, right?
The celibacy is different. No. Actually, celibacy, even our celibacy is different from Christian celibacy. Our celibacy is you can have sex and children, but that is you are doing all these acts without the sexual carnal desire. Like Krishna having 10,000 wives.
I see.
So this is different.
Okay.
It is desireless. You can,
as long as you
not
don't...
emotionally, not sexually interested.
Then it's okay.
But it is okay.
Okay. So...
And the greatest celibate in the Hindu, this is Sri Krishna, with 16,005 girlfriends.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No. Okay, so you first heard out about him sleeping with married women to give them
and blessing
pregnant.
And this lady was divorced because the husband very well knew that he was important. And he saw both people in a compromised position in 1949, 50. Very young age, 18, 19. So I can't know, because I have not slept with him, whether what Talbrook has said is true or not, that he is a hermaphrodite. Talbrook has said he is a hermaphrodite.
Yes, and
But
you don't know if he...
I don't know, because I have not slept with Sai Baba.
Yes. But you've talked with other people who've had
But
sex.
nobody has come with this, except Talbrook. And another thing is, there are more than a dozen children born to Sai Baba whom I have traced.
There are more than 1 dozen?
1 dozen children.
Yes.
One in Sri Lanka also, Kerala. There is a place, there's more than 1 dozen children born to Sai Baba.
But is that considered in India criminal, that he has all these children?
No, really? These people don't say, Even our Hindu scriptures say the priest can impregnate the kid. If the king is not able to impregnate, we have these what they call yajnas, prayer, and in the end of the prayer, the priest sleeps with the wife and then impregnates. That is allowed in our Hindu.
So tell me some of the more corrupt things about Sai Baba, things that are clear that he is not
And
legitimate.
in 1980, one of my friends had gone to Singapore. And he gave lectures on the basis of my book, wherein I have interviews with 13 ladies who were sexually assaulted by Sai Baba for blessing with children. And his mode of, like any other godman, is to give them some, what they call, something in the milk.
Oh, some drug?
So that they become unconscious and then have sex. And 30 photographs will be taken, 30 days they will be raped, and when they are pregnant, they are sick. That was the mode which most of the godmen follow, whom were arrested.
So is there any proof that he assaulted these women, or could he just say the women wanted to have sex?
3 ladies had come forward to be witnesses. One was a professor from Annamalai University, and she became mad because she was not completely unconscious. And he saw that somebody was coming and raping her, and she became mad. She was hospitalized for 6 years, and with her, as a permission from her husband, I recorded the thing.
So she accuses Sai Baba himself of...
Yes, not only she, there is... he had started a women's college in Anandapur in 1968. And the principal of that women's college was a great Sanskrit scholar who was working as a teacher, a professor in London University. And she was a great devotee of Sai Baba, and she had written a lot of poems, and one of the poems was that for love Sai Baba is the God, person. That is, for eyes you have the eye bag, for money you have the state bank, and for kidney you have the kidney bank, for blood you have the blood bank, but for love the bank is Sai Puttaparthi. So like she was so much, what you call, and she was a Parsi lady, Damayanti Dungari, married to a Hindu lady, married to a Parsi, interconnected. So she was made the first principal of her. So after 6 months, Sai Baba used to come and stay there every month. And girls used to go there because God, to massage his feet, hand, and look to his comforts and things. And one of her colleagues from London had come there, one Margaret. So both when they went to Sai Baba, they found him to be in compromising position with another girl of the student. That girl, because the principal knew, committed suicide. And she left the college. I had interviewed her. She's in Bombay.
And so she's been public as well.
Yes.
And have you heard any information about Sai Baba having sex with underage men?
Yeah. That is what I told you. That letter is here published. So 80, one of my friends in Singapore published about this book, wherein I have interviewed 13 ladies and the sexual affairs there. And the president of Satya Sai Samiti was a barrister. Well, a big clientele, well known. with the government and other, when Hari Ram Jayaram, he took contempt of court action against the person who talked. He sent a registered notice.
Yes.
And because the other person who talked about this was also an advocate, he said, yes, please go to the court, we will see. We can get Sai Baba as witness. But he didn't take action.
I see.
Then after 3 years, the same person wrote to me saying that what this man told from your book is 100% correct. Because one of my sons have been used for homosexuality by Sai Baba. He has written on his letterhead. And he even asked me to print, give me the money for printing 2,000 copies of my Lure of Miracles. I printed it and gave it at my cost.
Yes. So there's factual, documented
Documentary evidence
from
about
numerous people
Yeah.
who say that he has assaulted people sexually.
Yes.
And you also told me that there are also some murders.
Murders. The first murder, that is how I started this magazine. And 2 American ladies, 1 English boy has been murdered. The boy,
I'm just going to.
and he was one of the finest
I'm
boys.
just going to show it this way so you can zoom in.
Yes, he is lying and murdered. It is said he committed suicide at 12 o'clock in the afternoon when students were there. Actually, he was murdered. He was caught, burnt. He was caught and burnt completely.
And you took this photograph.
Yeah. And I went and interviewed the students there. And
Uh-huh.
students agitated. They did even dharna, saying that we won't go unless action is taken. And I wrote to the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. He directed the police to take action. But police and he, being Sai Baba's people, they didn't take it. They said there is no case. It's a suicide. And even the dharna photographs are there, where the students sit together before the school. All the students of the school go there. And
the students protest.
Students.
So are there any students who have made affidavits, legal affidavits against
No, they
Sai
can't,
Baba?
because they are beaten up and because they are young children.
I see.
Now they can't do anything. Their parents will get quiet. Because
Uh-huh.
in India, the students are not so active as here.
I see.
Here they have freedom, there they don't have freedom.
Uh-huh.
And immediately they did that. Third day the parents were, what they call, he has told with Supreme Court, they were frightened. Said if you don't stop this, you are going to be murdered or something like that.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. Who
See,
threatened?
their parents of these children
Yes.
were frightened, saying that if you don't get this stopped, we'll see that you are arrested somewhere. Because everyone has some loops, where the government can take action.
I see. I see.
They were frightened.
So how many murders do you think?
I think more than 100 murders I have chalked out. Wherein I have asked, this is the boy, one of the best students who was an NCC also for public national cadet, corps. And he got the first prize. This is the boy.
Oh my God! You can see this picture.
And he died because nobody will commit suicide with students around in the college at 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes. Now, for someone who doesn't know anything about this, could you explain about the claims of the miracles and the holy ash and the other manifestations?
Holy ash and things are tricks which are done by government previously also.
Yes.
And even road magicians do it better than Sai Baba. Because most of the tricks done by Sai Baba, I am writing another book now on about 300 claims of Sai Baba's on different miracles.
Yes.
So one by one, picking it from the biography written of Sai Baba, I am explaining each.
So the holy ash, how is that done?
Holy ash, generally people ask me, he is showing his hand this way. So if holy ash is powder, so it should fall down. So he is really creating. Actually, that is not so, because holy ash is mixed in starch water and made into small pellets and kept in between the thumb and the pointing finger. and you move it, and as if you are creating it to bring down to the fingertips, break it and give. And you can see it on how it is done. You can see here that it is broken and given.
So it's pellets that are held in between the fingers.
Yes,
and then he makes some motions, and oh, here is the holy ash.
No, even chain, because you can see gold chain made, wherein our Prime Minister and 12 central ministers are witnesses to this fraud, which was taken on 29th August 1992 for propaganda film, to make a propaganda film to be put with that video film made in Amsterdam.
Explain what that exactly
that was.
was.
In 1992, I was in 8 countries in Europe. And most of the television people and newspapers gave me good coverage, front page coverage. And mostly it was Sai Baba, because they had more problems with Sai Baba. Except one person who said about Premanand. Not me, another Krishnapalli Premanand. We are covered also. We caught him. I didn't know about him. But after coming here, we found and got him caught also. So this brought down the name of Sai Baba, because even secretaries of Sai Baba changed. In Finland, there was a lady secretary who claimed that she has herself seen the miracle. She said Sai Baba moved his hand like this, produced a ring, and she put it in the finger. It doesn't suit her finger, so he took again, blew on that, and then when it was put, it became the correct size. I told her that is a very easy trick. But if you believe Sai Baba knows everything and God, why did he make a mistake of making a smaller ring? And the thing was done because he wanted to surprise you. And this is done by roadside. So she asked me, can you do it?
Yes.
I said, very easy.
Yes.
Then I knew that she would be asking me that question. So I moved my fingers. I said, I can't give you gold ring because I don't smuggle gold.
Yes.
So I can give you what you call nickel, this aluminum ring or something, a plated ring. I moved and gave her a ring. It didn't suit her. It was small. So she gave back. I blew at that. When I put it into her finger, it suited her best. So now I have to think about
Yes.
and she changed.
Yes.
So like that, I was bringing change directly. And the person, her friend, who was the president, had sent it to me there itself, saying that he is going to sue me for talking ill about Sai Baba when he is not there. So I put a small questions. Do you believe him as God? Yes, I believe him as God. So he should be everywhere. He should be present here. And when he is all powerful.
Yeah, if he really is
You could
God.
have stopped me, and he has allowed me because I am correct.
Right.
So I talked in such a way that
it's very powerful to speak that
so
way.
it was very easy. Like that, he lost his name, and in Italy there was a big fight itself, because it was at that time that the court took action against the mafia gang there. So Italian paper wrote about that mafia gang. This Craxi and Androtti, generally when they come to India, visit Sai Baba. And I don't know what is the connection between mafia and God, unless God also is a mafia gang leader. So it was published there. And next day, Androtti's full page article against what I have said. Androtti and Craxi wrote a full page article saying that they had cancer and this, Sai Baba is cured, and what this man says you should not. Full page article next day itself.
So I want to ask you a devil's advocate question.
Yes.
A devil's advocate question. If somebody says to you, well, if he's teaching love and he's bringing hope to people, so what's wrong if he does some magic tricks to give people faith? What's wrong with that?
I'll tell you one thing. When he is teaching love, the love which he teaches is the ordinary kind of love. What is the meaning of love?
What is my definition?
Yes.
Love is giving everything.
Giving. Now, when you find, in the end you find that you don't give anything at all. Now, the real meaning of love, when you love a girl or a girl loves you, what do you want to do? You don't go on loving. You want to possess her. You want to enjoy her. You want to allow others to enjoy her. You become possessive. And all these things when you take, the real meaning of love comes as what you call to possess the object of love, to enjoy it for yourself.
Yeah.
So when the God says the whole universe I love, you want the whole universe to come at his feet so that he may exploit them.
I see. So it's
Enjoy
not, but, so is it real love?
No, it is not right. So with giving, all right. But actually he is not giving, he is receiving.
Possessive.
He is receiving things.
Controlling.
He wants others to love him, others to give. So others, he takes everything so that he may enjoy.
Okay, but so...
Now another thing.
Yes.
About his social activities.
Yes.
You know, he has started what you call water works. Now he collected about 240 crores of rupees for giving water to the Anandapur district where his ashram is.
Giving water.
Water. And President and Prime Minister were there to inaugurate it. And you know, not a single drop of water has come to the people. But the whole world has published that water has been already given to the, what you call, thirsting people.
Yes.
Pure water has been given, not a single drop has come.
Why?
Because all the pipes blasted, got burst. They were of, see, government has said that 20 kilo pressure pipes have to be used. He purchased 10 kilo pressure pipes. And when the pipes were tested, it was only 2 kilo pressure pipes. So when pipe fittings were there, and they were not also done according to the engineering this, like sand cushioning should be there, and you have to fix air valves and things like that. Nothing was done. And when the president inaugurated it, immediately the pipes burst, even metal pipes burst.
So was that done intentionally or due to poor judgment?
Cheated, not cheated.
Just took people's money.
What he wanted was, he before the inauguration, he wanted the state government to take. But the state government persons were very intelligent. And he said, we can't, unless we see what work you have done after verifying whether the pipes are correct and water is given. After 3 years only, after settling, we'll take over the management. So they didn't take. So immediately it was busted. Now again the same pipes are used and same method is used. I made a video of that. I went to the place and I inquired with all the, but not a single person has been given water except his ashram. That is, generally he built it to get, because 15 lakhs people came in 1995.
So he's doing these things for good public relations,
but
taking people's money and not using the money.
But it has not been used. Why I am saying this? There is a government contract rate, which is the maximum. For laying pipes so much, for this so much like that. There is a government rate fixed by the government.
Yes.
And this man has paid 3 times more to the contractor.
I see.
And the contractor has given contract for half the price. Half means when 3 rupees has to be spent,
so
the
corruption.
contract is 9 rupees and given for 4.5 rupees to the subcontractor, and subcontractor has given a receipt for 4.5 rupees, but he has been paid only 2.5.
Yes.
So I met these subcontractors and others, people also. And not only that, government has given him complete exemption of sales tax and excise duty and all the things. And if and 30 crores of rupees also. So if all these things are added, government could have given water to the whole state. This he has given it to the district.
Yes.
So I calculated the money cost, and now he has to spend again the same money. Which first the pipes are broken, so the work has to be, these things have to be removed and new pipes laid.
But he's
So
asking wealthy followers to donate millions of dollars for these projects that don't
Actually it has gone only for income tax purpose, for this election. The money has gone for election, present election. So what happened? What happened here is.
1 second, she wants to.
Steve, you should do a little bit more about the murders.
More about more murders.
What proof and why they killed them.
Now, excise duty is 30%. Sales tax is 10%. 40% exemption is there. So when they need 10 pipes, they have purchased 30 pipes and sold 20 pipes in black.
In the black market.
Black market.
Mhm.
And so that the work becomes free. So there was no need for taking any public donation.
Mhm.
And government has paid 30 crores of rupees
Mhm.
as for the
I see.
project.
Mhm.
And he has already collected money and done the work, which has been a failure.
Mhm.
Then again he has collected 160 crores. So what was the need for again collecting 160 crores when the work has been completed?
Right. It's so corrupt.
Yes.
So, again, I'm just trying to get the best information
Ah.
that you have in
Yeah.
terms of if somebody believes Sai Baba is a great God man
Ah.
and he's giving love to people and helping elevate
No,
people.
what is the help he has given?
So corruption and fraud,
Fraud,
and
not only the
false
mafia,
miracles,
mafia,
which are magic.
smuggling of narcotics, smuggling of
What proof is there that there
I
was
have got
smuggling?
3-4 people, one from Englishman
Yeah.
and others, and he has smuggled even Indian weapons. See,
I'm
the
sorry, he
Indian
smuggled
weapons,
Indian weapons.
weapons and armory in 1960s.
Because Sai Baba knew, or some other
No,
leader?
Sai Baba himself got it smuggled. And I have even given the steamer a name through which he smuggled to Uganda and got gold.
Are you saying that there's proof that Sai Baba personally smuggled
Yes.
weapons and drugs? Or
Weapons, yes.
Weapons.
Weapons to Uganda and personally went there. That's the only country visited by Sai Baba
Hmm.
to get gold in barter of the
Really?
Idi Amin.
So what proof is there?
I have proof.
Yeah, just individuals who say that they were there and watched
No. There is a proof that these things have been smuggled through a Dutch steam company. And there was action against the Dutch company.
Mm-hmm.
And Sai Baba went to get the money
Mm-hmm.
from Idi Amin.
Mm-hmm.
And Sai Baba said he is one of the greatest person, Idi Amin, was
Idi
eating
Amin?
human beings.
Idi Amin?
Idi Amin.
Uh-huh.
And he came with a car presented by Sai Baba, Ben's car,
Mm-hmm.
which was packed with gold. Sai
Yeah.
Baba brought himself, Sai Baba drove himself, and near Pune, one inspector arrested him for the gold painting. And next day the inspector disappeared, Sai Baba is put up.
Wow, that's huge.
And I have given him the name of the steamship company.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look to his biographies, his magazine, you will find that in between 1960-68,
Mm-hmm.
he was always in the military installations, making friendship with the military people,
Mm-hmm.
so that what happened, happens. Most of the things after use are sold as scrap
Mm-hmm.
when it is not, when new things come.
Right.
But here, what happens? It is not made into scrap. It is sold as scrap, only in dismantled condition,
Right.
and people think it is a scrap.
Right.
And then it is exported to third world countries like
Yes.
Uganda,
Weapons.
and then what you call assembled there
Yes.
and sold. Even tanks, 200 tanks have
That's
been
amazing.
taken there.
Mm-hmm. So, what could you say to a journalist or an editor who wants to do a story to expose Sai Baba? What needs to happen? Do they need to go to India to interview other people who can confirm your stories, or?
But no, I can do myself written letters and things like that
Mm-hmm.
with photographs and things.
Uh-huh.
And I have even sent letters to our ex-Prime Minister, late Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, who
Mm-hmm.
wanted to take, he was one of the persons who didn't believe in Sai Baba.
Mm-hmm.
He was to take action,
Uh-huh.
but action was not taken.
Mm-hmm.
And some of Sai Baba's devotees came for proof.
Mm-hmm.
I refused to give them proof.
Mm-hmm.
Said, I don't need that. But he was murdered.
Hold on for a second.
Huh?
I changed the
Another
tape.
tape.
Yeah.
He was murdered.
Was it a 2-hour tape that you used?
No, it was a little leftover. I didn't,
I see.
that's okay because
So
I am.
if you want the letter, I will find out.
Yes.
Because it is.
Is it possible to buy this from you, or do you have to
I will
give
give
this?
you in the end.
Yes,
When I leave,
that would be great.
after, because I will
Okay.
show it. I have to make some money showing this. And
Okay, well, I want to pay you for these anyway.
Take this. Set.
Yes.
This is 8-year set. Then you will find a lot of interesting things.
Well, I really want to have this expose done on Sai Baba.
No, this letter is, I have published it completely.
In the information that we just heard about this weapon smuggling in the 60s, that's before
I have a Malayalam, it was published by some
or
Indian
was he-
newspapers.
I'm sorry?
It was published by some Indian newspapers.
Yes.
And I have made a booklet also in Malayalam, not in English. And I have registered post-acknowledgement letters sent to the Prime Minister.
I need all the best evidence filed in one place.
Yes.
What year did he become viewed as a god man? What year?
It was in 1968 after he returned from... No, till then he was just a godman, incarnation of Siddhi Sai Baba, the dead man,
Yeah.
who was a philosopher.
Yes.
But in 1968, when he started accumulating wealth by smuggling Indian weapons and things, it was in Bombay in 1968, immediately after return from Uganda, he announced that he is not only the incarnation of Siddhi Sai Baba, not only the incarnation of Hindu God, that he is the God of, incarnation of all the gods put together. In Sanskrit it is called Sarva Daivatva Sarupa. Sarva means all. Daivatva means gods. Sarupa means personification. Personification of all the gods. That was the...
So that was in 68.
That was in 68.
If you had to guess, how many other people who were followers of Sai Baba, or who had sex with Sai Baba, or who smuggled illegal things with Sai Baba, how many people do you think?
See, you just look around Sai Baba's devotees. They are the biggest smugglers and racketeers.
Right, but my question is, how many would be willing to be public, to be interviewed and use their name?
Many people are afraid because they will be murdered.
Right, but that's why
But
I'm asking.
personally, without their name coming, they will talk to you. But
Yeah.
I don't think they will be...
How many people would be willing to talk with their name and say, I would have had sex
They
with
will be
him?
just ordinary people like me, will be, but not the big people. Because their complete life will be destroyed. And my life could not be destroyed because I didn't have anything. Because if you go against Sai Baba, the first thing done by Sai Baba government is they will send you will be raided by the income tax, sales tax and other people. And there will be some mistakes, they will catch you and destroy you. And it happened in my case also, but because I didn't have any, what do you call, black dealings.
So, besides yourself, is there anyone else who would be public, who would be, who would have the courage to speak?
There are people who are not rich and...
Right.
Yes, there are.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Yes,
are there
there are
5 people or 10 people?
Oh
or
yes,
50
any
people?
number I can get you.
Well, I'm just thinking.
I
as
can
a
get you
journalist.
even the son of the first Sai Baba's secretary. Sai Baba, now 6th secretary has been murdered in 1993. The first secretary was one M. Krishna, who became a Christian. You might have read Heraldson's book.
No, I didn't.
He was the first Sai Baba secretary, whom Sai Baba told that he is just like Arjuna to Krishna. Arjuna means one of the greatest. And he was taking him along with him on the birthday celebrations and things. Saying that
So
he
he
is
would
my
be
son.
willing to be public?
He died, but his son is willing.
Yes. And where does he live?
Huh?
Is he in India?
Hyderabad, yes, Hyderabad.
Good.
And he has told that Christ saved me. Otherwise I would have been in hell. Dangerous fellow.
Before we go on to any other, I want to ask you about some other cult leaders, but is there anything else you think that's very important to say about Sai Baba and why the American public should be concerned about
Sai
it?
Baba started creating gold in 1960s. When Sai Baba's secretary, one Kasturi, who had written books on Sai Baba, his son became the director of geology department, mining.
Yes.
And from that period, Sai Baba started making gold, diamonds and things.
You mean manifesting?
Because he is making that is. No, mining is done by the government. And this man would, because mining you can't, when you are making some material, steel cupboard, when you purchase 100 kilos, you have to show 95 kilos as a. But when you are doing mining and agriculture, there is you can cheat.
Yes.
You can say I got only this much. So most of the things are.
I saw an article on the internet that you wrote about how Sai Baba manifested a watch with a serial number.
Simply, I have to watch. I have to watch.
Could you explain that?
This is the watch. No, but the watch mentioned there is different. See, there was a big article written by one of the greatest scientists in India, Dr. Bhagavantam, who was the scientific advisor to the government Department of Defense. That is, he is the next step to Prime Minister in the power.
Yes.
He was a devotee of Sai Baba because he had an epileptic child. And because there is no treatment for that, he became Sai Baba's devotee. The story says there is a Seiko watch people came to India, the managing director, and Sai Baba produced a Seiko watch and gave it to him, and he was surprised because that was the watch invented that month and kept in safe custody. And he got surprised. And when he went there, the manager there, it seems, told him that somebody with this head came there, and he simply walked inside, opened the safe, and removed it. No, removed it and went.
So he stole it. He didn't buy it.
Yeah. So he went out. Now, how will we investigate it? We wrote to the company, Seiko Watch Company, and the managing director, who is said to have visited Sai Baba. I don't know, Sai Baba had never visited it.
So he changed the story. The Seiko manager denies.
It's all lies.
No, the whole story was
Word
a lie.
Prepared by Sai Baba.
Oh, the story was a lie.
A lie. By Sai Baba. Because nobody will know that we will write to these people and inquire. See, now there was a big story that Sai Baba resurrected Walter Cowan.
I'm sorry?
One American citizen, Walter Cowan, who was Sai Baba's devotee, and his wife has given millions of dollars to him to build the schools.
Walter Cowan?
Cowan. Cowan. C-O-W-A-N. Walter
Cowan.
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 Yes.
And he has, he came to India in 1981 or 82, December 24th. He died in a hotel. And his body was taken to a hospital to find whether he is dead. 5 doctors gave certificate that he is dead. And his body was kept in mortuary with cotton in the eyes, nose and things, like tie. In India they do it, They put cotton here, cotton in the nose, cotton in the mouth, cotton in the eyes. And after 5 hours, Sai Baba goes there and he wakes up and comes back. That was the story. Now, most of the Sai Baba stories cannot be investigated because you don't know. Somebody does somewhere something. So you can't do. But here, it was Walter Cowan. He was an American citizen. And there is a law that if a person dies in another country, immediate information has to go to the council, American council. So I wrote first letter of investigation was to the American council, asking whether any information about it is there. Then we don't know, we have not received, he has gone back to America. If he is dead, ask Sai Baba himself. Now, there is the name of the hotel. I wrote to the hotel people. And hotel people wrote to me, we don't know because we have leased it only very recently. It is an old story. So we don't know. But the story was published only after 8 years. Not at the time of death, 73.
So way later.
Later.
Yes.
When Walter Cohen himself died.
Yes.
Oh, after he died? After he died in real life?
Yes. So it was very difficult.
You can't verify from the person.
Yes, because he
So
died.
when I take up my work, I don't stop. I go on knocking at doors.
Yes.
Somewhere it will be open.
Yes.
So after 8 years, when I went to Madras, I just thought, let me verify again with the hotel, because hotel name is there.
Yes.
And I found the manager was a friend of my younger brother. His sister was a what do you call student along with my brother studying dance and things, etc. So I asked. Then he went through all the records. I got the records, and he gave me the addresses of the house doctors. Because it's a 3-star hotel, you know.
Yes.
So he took me to the house doctor, and he was the person who, he said he never died, and on my advice he was, hospital name also is not given. The doctor's name also is not given. So I went to that hospital. He remembered, because the superintendent was the same superintendent who treated him, and he gave me the name of the heart specialist who treated him. Him also, and all the 3 people gave me in writing that it was false.
Yes.
That he never died.
He never died.
It was a trick.
Yes.
Bringing him back to life was just
He
a
never
trick.
died. So we say, why do you worry? He has resurrected one person. We will bring a fly, kill a fly. We don't want to kill a person and ask him to. We will kill a mosquito, because we generally kill hundreds of mosquitoes in India. We will kill a mosquito. Let Sai Baba give life to them.
Yes. And you won't do it.
He can't do it.
But you said that Walter Cowan's wife gave a lot of money to Sai Baba?
Yes, yes.
She supported Sai Baba.
Yes, she wrote this with your big, another doctor is there, you know, Islam, who is the international president, American president of Sai Baba Samiti. Doctor, there is a big guy. And I wrote, each story is different in each article. And each person claims he was the, witness to this. So I asked, if you are a witness, how could it change? There were doctors. Islam also I wrote. This is the story given by you. This is the story given by another. This is the one. No, I believe that Sai Baba resurrected him. So I can't do anything if a person wants to believe.
Yes. That's amazing.
And I have his signed letter.
Yeah, that's very good.
That is
that's very
complete.
convincing.
That's an interesting story.
Yeah.
And hundreds of, I have spent more than 6,000-7,000 rupees. Because when I send a letter, it has to be by registered post account. And I have to send money also for reply. That also should be registered account. So each letter I have to spend 20 rupees. Like that, they will return it. Then again I write to them, again they return. Like that, there will be. And it took 8 years for me to investigate it.
But that's a very concrete, specific
proof.
Yes.
And and I got the letters signed on their own letterheads, which I have published in my magazine.
Yes.
All the 3 doctors.
That's great.
And one doctor was very interesting. We do only government hospitals have mortuaries. We don't have mortuaries, nor do we keep dead bodies in our hospital.
So that is another lie.
And if he was resurrected and all his sickness has been cured, why was he kept in our hospital for 23 days? He had an heart attack. We keep people with heart attack for 23 days.
Are there any other Americans who've given lots of money to Sai Baba whose names you know?
No, Mrs. Cohen, then the sister, then there is one Sandwich. One psychologist, psychiatrist who has written a book on Sai Baba, 2 books.
Really?
Sandwich.
Do you know how do you spell his name?
Sandwissc.
I can't visualize that.
And that book made him great.
Yeah. I'll have to look for that. So could you talk a little bit about Muktananda and Gurumai, because that's another cult that's very big.
Muktananda's guru, Nityananda, was from my own village.
Yes.
He was a friend of my father.
Yes.
He was working as a clerk in registrar's office, where you register these documents and things, government registry.
Yes.
He was a clerk there.
Muktananda was a clerk?
Muktananda was a guru.
Guru was a clerk.
he is you can read all these things. He is Nityananda. And he died of cirrhosis of the liver because of alcohol and things. He had a very big tummy. And he was a very good friend of my father. So,
but Muktananda, there was many claims that he had sex with
he has sex,
young
and
girls.
he doesn't allow anybody to go there. And dogs are there, 5 dogs were there, 35 German dogs who will murder people.
I don't know, sorry, I didn't
There
understand.
were 5 dogs in his ashram when Muktananda was there.
Yes.
We have gone and visited that ashram. Thrice. I have gone.
I'm
Once
sorry.
5
Malati also
dogs? Dogs?
came. Dogs.
Dogs.
German trained dog. D-O-G.
Yeah,
So you
5
mean
dogs.
He had sex with the dogs?
No, he has that to murder people if anybody.
To murder people.
Murder people.
Ah.
And actually that was a narcotic smuggling gang, Muktananda's.
Really?
Yeah.
And how do you know that?
Huh?
How do you know?
Because this man was a narcotic addict and he was dismissed from the work. Later he became a Swami.
So people who revere Gurumai today, and they want to give up their life and they want to give all their money
But,
to her,
both
what do
are
you have
fighting.
to say to them?
So both are fighting. Gurumai and Guru Bhai,
Yeah, the
both brother and sister.
Yeah.
They fought and tried to murder each other. You can read it in this
Yes.
history.
Well, she's controlled the organization.
Organization
He has a very small organization.
He has organization in America.
Yeah, well, very near
Near,
her
yes,
ashram
yes.
in New York.
Yes. And he was to be murdered also. There was a big fight.
But is it true that Guru Mai knew that Muktananda was having sex with many women?
Yes.
How do you know that?
How do there are many people who say that?
I'm
Please.
playing devil's advocate because I'm thinking as someone who's a believer.
No, now you don't publish as your you publish an interview that I'm on the subject, and let them take action against me for the contempt of court. They won't take against you because
No,
it is
the
my
question is, do you have the proof?
Yes, there is proof.
And what proof?
Not in return. I can get written this also.
You can
Yes,
get
sir.
people who can make
Yes.
affidavits.
Yes.
Because if you can do that,
Yes.
we also can
Yes.
do some media
Yes,
exposés
Yes.
about this.
That I can get.
Because in the United States, there are people who I believe would publish it. They're not as afraid.
And this girl herself had a problem, because she had a boyfriend, an American devotee, who was misusing me.
Really? Gurumai had a
Gurumai,
boyfriend.
yes.
Was it George O'Keefe?
He was
Do you know?
secretary. He was her secretary.
Was it George O'Keefe? Do you know the name?
Somebody I don't know. I don't remember because these things are all old things.
Yes.
Which have been exposed, so I don't
Yes.
continue to.
Yes. Any other important things that you can say about Gurumai or Muktananda for people?
See, Muktananda is a kind of what you call, we call it Tantra Yoga. Tantra Yoga means unless you have sex, here what happens, it seems one Patanjali Maharshi 1000 years back wrote a thesis called Patanjali Yoga or Kundalini Yoga, where your sexual energy, which you use for sex, is taken up through one of the arteries to the brain, wherein you get all the powers and also knowledge, the whole knowledge. And I went to get training in these things, and I found it was all bunka. Because when you read the book itself, they say we have 3 nadis. Actually, we have only 2. And the third is not there. And in the book itself, that is the textbook written by Patanjali, it says you can't dissect this third nadi which goes through the central portion, wherein you can raise the sexual energy.
Yes.
If you can't dissect, if you can't see, and you can only imagine. So you can't take a matter which is summoned through some imaginative tube to the.
Right.
Now the second thing is, when it starts rising up, the proof of that is all your diseases are cured and you become a 16-year-old youth.
Uh-huh.
So my guru, who was Swami Shivananda,
Yeah.
he died. He
Yeah.
was a medical doctor also. He
Mhm.
had 6 diseases. So when I went there to get trained, the first question I put to him was, "Sir, why do you suffer from it? As it's not
Yeah.
started
Mm-hmm.
going up." He said, "No, it has started, it has already reached Sahasrara," that is it.
Yeah.
But I stopped the outcome because I want to suffer for my sins I did in past year. So I have not, I have not allowed my
Good
diseases to be cured.
excuse.
So it was a good thing. And he had a lot of diseases. And the third question was, when it rises to the heart, you become immortal, no death.
I'm
You
sorry?
become a martyr.
Immortal, no death.
Not dead.
You don't die.
Uh-huh.
So I asked, where is Patanjali Maharshi? And other godmen like Muktananda, Nityananda, Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, Aurobindo Ghosh, all these people have died.
Mm-hmm.
And they claim to have taken it up.
Mm-hmm.
And they have suffered from cancer and things, most of the people, they have died.
Mm-hmm.
Then the answer was also again same thing.
Mhm.
No, they don't die, they have not died.
Mm-hmm.
They have only just, as you remove the shirt, they have just removed this body and they are in some other
Uh-huh. Yeah. So there's always an excuse.
excess. So again I ask, if solely doesn't have death,
Mhm.
why should we practice Kundalini Yoga?
Right.
You are deathless,
Mm-hmm.
the soul is deathless, so there is no need for Kundalini Yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Then he asked me, you get out, you want to practice, or get out. So I had to come out.
Mm-hmm. What about Rajneesh?
Rajneesh,
He's
said-
dead now.
No, I'm telling you,
Uh,
this method is, you can have this only through sex, Tantra Yoga.
Mm-hmm.
That is a person, according to Tantra Yoga, every male is a Shiva, and every female is Shakti.
Mm-hmm.
Shakti means power,
Mm-hmm.
male Shiva.
Mm-hmm.
And in that union, instead of producing children or getting the semen out,
Mm-hmm.
you
Raise
through the vacuum, it is very realistic. When you have sex, some vacuum is created.
Mhm.
So by vacuum and this, instead of coming down, it has to go up. But it comes out. And they have some postures also.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have, because I have to learn these things, So when you have sex and when it is going, you do like this so that it goes up.
Mhm.
Actually it comes down, not goes up. This was the
Mm-hmm.
giving pressure here
Right.
so that it goes up. And very realistic because vacuum is created inside.
Mm-hmm.
How do you create vacuum? You remove all the air from inside.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are reciting Om, you first take air, then go on reciting Om, that means all air comes out. So vacuum is created, so it has to go off.
Mm-hmm.
So you are without air, so it has to go off.
That's a theory.
There,
Yeah.
and very realistic. But there is no pipe to take it off.
There's no pipe.
So if you have bottle,
It's a spiritual
no,
pipe.
if you have bottle, if you
Yeah.
put water and there is a tube out and you give vacuum, water will come through the tube.
Right.
But there is no tube here.
Right. Right. Spiritual
So
too.
it is- but that tube is there, imaginative tube.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. So is it true that there are many followers of Rajneesh still, Osho, now in India?
There are many. And Osho, it was an interesting thing and it was nice also.
Mm-hmm.
Because I found that he was the only person who told the truth. That I am having sex. He
Mhm.
doesn't say I am a celibate
Mm-hmm.
and rape women.
Mm-hmm.
He said I am doing this.
Yes.
I told you do. You have the right.
Mm-hmm.
He admits that he rapes women and he's having sex.
Huh?
Is that what he admits that he rapes
Yeah,
women?
he's dead now, but he was.
No,
He
not
was.
raping. He says
No,
he
no.
enjoys women,
Enjoys
has the
women.
sex. Yeah.
So he says I enjoy women. And
So-
if both the people agree, I don't find any.
And he said, if you
Okay.
want enlightenment, you
Yes,
have
sir.
to be wise. You have to
Yes.
give me your
Yeah.
money, and then I'll give you enlightenment.
But this Kushal Singh asked me to go there to see. So 1976, when I cancelled my ticket to my home and went to, because I was not interested in Rajneesh because no miracles are from there. But I got interested because a beautiful secretary has got, most beautiful secretary in the world. So I went there. First day I was not allowed to meet her because I had taken bath and he is allergic to soap and oil. He has asthma. So I paid 5 rupees, entered, but I was asked to get out and asked to come next day without oil and soap. So I went next day and I was just interviewing some of the devotees, foreign devotees, my camera for proof and this. And their experiences were wonderful. Said, we have 24 hours orgasm. When the breeze from Bhagavan Rajneesh touches our body, we are fully in orgasm. Same way. They, as I spoke, that's how they were.
Right.
So it was nice. So then somebody fell on me and removed my camera and video, this tape recorder. It was one of the film stars. But I had to argue with him and he took up the argument correctly. Said, please don't destroy it. If you think there is anything, because this is the only ashram where I have seen no boards for drones. Do everything. Every ashram they say don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. And Rajneesh ashram is the only ashram where there are no don'ts.
Except leave your mind every
So
day.
I thought that everything was what you call open in Rajneesh ashram. And if you think that I've done, I think I have to change my mind about Rajneesh. And please don't destroy it. If you see anything obnoxious, remove that portion because it contains some other interviews also. Not only this.
That's what they said to you?
Yes. No, I told them.
Yeah.
Don't. He wanted to destroy it. Then he said, "Let us meet the secretary." That was the time for me to meet the secretary. She was a Swedish woman, but actually she was not beautiful at all. She was just an ordinary Swedish girl. But the most beautiful thing was the method of sex she was teaching. The Rajneesh method of sex is, it says, when you have sex, that is the only time you forget yourself. It is true also. When you have sex, you become one with another life and you forget yourself. That is samadhi. And in this time, only 3 or 4 erotic zones are stimulated. When you have sex with one lady or a lady has sex with one lady, only 3 or 4 erotic zones are stimulated. We have 32 erotic zones. So if all the 32 erotic zones are stimulated by 32 hands of 16 people,
then you really
you get
enlightenment.
Not enlightenment. You forget everything, you become one with God.
Yeah.
Because here is samadhi. That is nirvikalpa samadhi. You become one with God. That was a very interesting thing. I took some photographs, it was published later by the magazine. There are 16 ladies whose 32 hands on a naked man. And a tickling portion, erotic sounds were tickling. So they jump right. Similarly, 16 males use their hands on the 32.
But did you hear about when they were in the United States that women were having abortions or being sterilized?
Yes.
People were being killed and their bodies were being cremated.
Yes.
That they were wiretapping and listening.
No,
to
later,
all of the...
later, when you find money coming in, his philosophy was good. And when he came back from United States, I was in Delhi, he was in Delhi to meet some of them. So newspaper people asked me, what have you to say about Rajneesh? I said, I have nothing to say, but I would advise the government that every male and female who is going to get married are taught the method of sex of Rajneesh, there won't be fight in home.
That's what you said?
Yes. They published it.
So Rajneesh members must like you a lot.
No, they don't like me. No, I said only this because most of the problems at home comes because of the inadequacy of sex.
Not because of sex.
Eh?
I mean because of corruption and
No,
fraud.
in India, fights, there are a lot of fights between husband and wife and things like that.
Yeah.
Because...
but didn't Rajneesh smuggle drugs also?
yes, smuggled.
Yeah. So.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm only asking people to get trained in the
trained in the sexual method.
sexual method. And not about drug acting.
What about Maharishi Mahesh Yogi? Can you say anything?
See, Mahesh Yogi also have written, because he says if 10% of these people start transcendental, there won't be crime, there won't be anything.
Right.
And the same time when he said that, and came to India and started his ashram with that magician and things there.
Yes.
He was arrested with a lot of corrupted money. There I say, he had more than 100% people doing meditation. And he was arrested for having foreign exchange without accounting. That means if you have 100% and murders happened there. So my question was, instead of 10%, when 100% people were themselves there, and you have seen the most murderers, this and no peace and things. So what will happen to people if they continue this?
Right. Well, there's a lot of fraud with.
I saw him on the invitation by one of the Supreme Court judges in India. When V.R. Krishna, who was a follower, he was my neighbor. I became like this, he became a Supreme Court judge. And there was a big debate with him because his wife died. And he came to America and started seeing the soul of his wife, talking with his wife, sleeping with his wife. And there was a big article, so I wrote him a letter. He replied me saying that, Mr. Premanand, I like your intelligence, but I don't like you are still staying in the old science. You have to learn about neurosciences, occult sciences. And you will be then doing good service to the people. Then in the article, one funny thing I found.
Yes.
He said, somebody questioned him, how did you see your wife? Soul. She came in the sari presented by him at the time of marriage. So my question was, does the sari cloth also have soul? That sari has to be seen in what you call
right. That's a good question.
And if you look to all the stories of ghosts, that is dead spirits, all the spirits are wearing cloth. They come also in British, all these things, and they come like a cloth, white cloth.
That's a good question. Well, I know that you're very, very tired. I wonder if there's any other points you can think of that might be of...
No, I'm just now, I filed a case against Gold Control Act. Because there was a case in, we had a law saying that nobody can produce gold, nobody can stock gold, nobody can gift gold, nobody can purchase the gold unless sanction is taken from the government.
Right.
So this man was creating gold and presenting it to several people, which was all against the law. Right. And I got a beautiful video where he presented the gold to the daughter of a Supreme Court judge. And a judge cannot say, I don't know law, because he was the Supreme Court judge. So with that video, I filed a case against Sai Baba saying that he has gone against the Gold Control Act. And the Gold Control Act was scraped off.
It was what?
Removed.
Removed.
Because of my case. So everybody could...
That's how powerful he is.
No, he's very powerful.
Yeah. That's very scary.
Not really powerful. Murderers even he can bring down the people, a lot of things can be done.
Are there any other lawsuits that are important that are going on right now? Things that you're doing or other people that you know?
No, we have, in every state we have our groups fighting. Now, last month our group of people in Maharashtra, Bombay, were beaten up. Because it was proved that one of the patients sent to Sai Baba's hospital, he has started a super specialty hospital where 4,000 crores out of his worth instruments have been donated by our American friends. That Hislop and others, that Sandwich and others. And it seems that heart surgery and all surgeries are done free there to poor people. So Actually, it is not done on poor people, rich people who can pay. Because the first question the doctors ask is, when the patient goes there, we do all these things free, but do you have 60,000 rupees for aftercare? After the surgery, you need 5-6 months of aftercare. We don't pay that. So unless you have that 60,000 rupees, there is no use in it. And if a person has 60,000 rupees to be used for that, he will have money also to. He just received a donation.
So in Sai Baba's, they're asking for money for donations to do free.
No, everyone gives. Yes. They say education free. But if you have to get a seat, you have to pay 50,000 rupees, and the interest itself would be enough for a fees, double the fees. Now here, one patient from Maharashtra who was a farmer who didn't have money, who went to a government hospital. They said you require about 1 lakh for a kidney transplantation. He was sent to Sai Baba's hospital, and his son's kidney was removed and transplanted in this man. And later it was found that he was again having pain and things. And when it was checked in another hospital in Bombay, because Sai Baba thought, hospital people thought he will die and nobody will know. He went to another hospital in Bombay, and the scanning was done, and it was found that kidney has not been transplanted, but the boy's kidney has been removed.
Taken out. Ooh.
What did they do with the kidney?
Please hear me.
They probably
Last year there was a big scam wherein a Bangalore doctor, Siddharaju, had a kidney transplantation center, and any person coming there for any surgery, their one kidney will be removed and sold to foreigners. And he was the person who was working in Sai Baba's
So they're stealing
hospital.
organs.
No, and the stealing was going on there in Sai Baba's ashram. Any dying person or this without the knowledge, it will be removed. And then dead body will not be given to the people, it will be put in electric crematorium so that nobody knows what is happening to the body. And this man left him. He said, why should I make money for Sai Baba when I can myself do it? He started the kidney center in Bangalore, and Sai Baba got angry and he was caught by the police. So when he was caught, I had to investigate why he was caught. And I found that this was the cause. And that person has now filed a case in Maharashtra.
The man who claims whose son was taken.
Whose son's kidney has not been. They have now filed a case, police complaint, and police have not registered it. And we have moved some of the ministers. Because there are also ministries BJP, Maharashtra. So we have moved some of the central ministers.
So how could it be proven that this doctor, that Sai Baba knew the doctor was doing...
No, he was working there previously.
He was working in the Sai Baba hospital.
Yes.
But how can it be shown that there's a link directly to Sai Baba?
Now, he left Sai Baba. He had to come to some trouble. Why did he look? And started his own kidney center.
Yes.
And there he is being caught.
And is he in jail now, the doctor?
No.
He was released.
Yes. But a lot of people are afraid. See, there was one third Sai Baba secretary. They all sleep with Sai Baba. The secretaries means to look after his comforts and everything.
Yes.
He was given a good job. Sai Baba built for him a house costing 6 lakhs. And he asked him to marry a girl of his choice. That the boy refused because he knew what was happening in the ashram. Immediately, he got a job in the bank through one industries minister. That the industries minister who had the bank was asked to dismiss him. He could not dismiss him because there are labor laws. God cannot dismiss anybody. He said, I can't dismiss, but I can transfer him to some other place. He got angry and got the whole family of the industrialists who had more educational institution than Sai Baba raided from Bombay up to Cochin. Completely raided.
So how is Sai Baba going to be exposed?
Now he will be exposed.
How will we do it? How will you do it?
It is just like how I can say how the mafia gang in Italy has been exposed.
Mm-hmm.
How even the Prime Minister action has been taken by the judge.
Mm-hmm.
So here, now I find that there are certain judges. We have our members also as justices, but they don't come before them because of the manipulations.
Yes.
But some judges are becoming very active.
Mm-hmm.
And in certain cases, when it has become a law, they can't say that it won't affect you.
Mm-hmm.
It should not be taken.
Mm-hmm.
See, wherein we have now this public cases.
Mm-hmm.
See, actually, in any court, only the person who has suffered has to go file case.
Yes.
Anybody cannot file.
Mm-hmm.
But we have now public litigation system, wherein if we see some crime happening and the other man is afraid, we can file a case. And even if we don't file, when the judges, some strong activist judges read the newspaper,
Yes.
they take action, so what action?
They can do that.
They do it.
Ah.
That has become the law now.
So that's new.
Yes.
Very new.
It is becoming very strong, judiciary.
That's
Now even Prime Minister is afraid.
Mm-hmm.
See, the investigation department has been completely removed from the hands of the Prime Minister by the Supreme Court.
So there's hope.
There is hope,
Yeah.
because we don't stop also.
Uh-huh.
Even there is no hope, we don't stop unless we get to
Yes. And your movement is growing in
growing. It
India.
is growing.
How many people now in India are involved with your movement?
See, I have about 300 and odd associations connected with me.
300 associations.
Each state.
30?
300 and odd.
Mhm.
They have all become, and everyone has got members.
Mm-hmm.
I think membership may come about 5 lakhs.
I'm sorry?
5 lakhs, 500,000.
500,000.
500,000. That's great.
In Tamil Nadu itself we have got more than 3 lakhs, that is 300,000 people.
That's great. So maybe you should run for political office.
No, I'm not. But our Tamil Nadu, because of this association, even the ministry is a rationalist ministry, you know that.
They have to pay attention.
No, it is a rationalist. The present Karnaniji, who is there,
Yeah.
is a rationalist. He took over the chief ministership on 13th, superstition, and said, I am not afraid.
That's
Yes,
great.
yes. We have some people who are
That's
strong.
great. So anything in conclusion that you'd like to
The
add?
thing is,
So many good points you
no,
made.
well, the thing is, I am not against anybody believing in anything which they want,
Mm-hmm.
unless it is dangerous to the other.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have human sacrifices. As a religion, if you take that human sacrifice, it is dangerous. So
Yes.
we have to stop that.
Yes.
But you are praying, you are doing it. It's not harmful
Yes.
because there is nobody to hear, and you are not losing anything.
Right.
But what we now see is, in the garb of the God, religion comes and exploits the people who believe in God.
Mm-hmm.
On one side we see that we believe God is protecting us.
Mm-hmm.
Other side we see that no religion can survive unless the people of that religion protects the God of that religion.
Mm-hmm.
On one side we see that God has to give us grace and wealth and things.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side we see that all these gods are paupers. When they have put boxes asking people, oh, I don't have money, put money.
Mm-hmm.
There is no place of worship without only box,
Mm-hmm.
which is collected in the name of God.
Mm-hmm.
When God has created all the wealth in this, you see a beggar to collect this.
Mm-hmm.
Because rupees and dollars or anything is nothing to God when we look to the universe He has created.
Right. But aren't there legitimate spiritual teachers who don't want Mercedes-Benz and don't want gold and don't want to...
Who is that person?
I don't know, I'm asking.
No, I am just, I have read only in Bible where Christ said to His 12 apostles,
Mm-hmm.
when you go to the people, you should not have the second dress. You should not have a roof over your head.
Mm-hmm.
And you should not have a pence in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You should not, that means you should not stay with rich people,
Mhm.
you should not collect money, you should not do.
Mhm.
Now, which church is not...
Mm-hmm.
See, two popes are now, popes or bishops are now golden this with them. And they stay in palaces. So when I wrote about this, saying that when Jesus Christ is, I don't know, it is believed that he has said like this, why do the bishops live in palaces, bishops' palaces? Why don't they, why do they have big palaces with gold and silver and things?
But in India, there are no spiritual masters or teachers?
No, there are spiritual, there are great, they were, who never cared for money and things like that. But at present, I have not seen many.
Yes, but there are such.
There were very good people who never
At
cared for
present,
money.
do you see any?
Huh?
Forget it. Do you see any at present?
At present, I have not seen it. Because everywhere you say, even Aurobindo, whom I had accumulation of wealth starts. And if accumulation of wealth means it's the problem. Starts.
No problem of pride and arrogance and control.
You see, there are 4 or 5 things, you know, in Hindus believed that desire for 3 things only destroyed the people. That is the Mannasha means desire for earth, land. Kannasha, desire for woman. And Mannasha, Kannasha, Pannasha, desire for money. But we have to now add 2 more. That is desire for fame, desire for power.
Well, I had one other question that just came into my mind about the founder of what is known as the Krishnas. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Do you have any information about that? Because that's a group that is getting a lot of recruits now in the United States again.
Again, in London also they have won in the case.
Yes.
London the government tried to stop, but because it can't be taken against one religion, the court has...
But I heard information that the founder, Prabhupada, is smuggling drugs and...
You know, most if you look to the history of government, you will find that they were the agents of the ex-Maharajas and Maharanis of India. See, narcotic poppy cultivation was in the hands of the ex-Maharajas and Maharanis. And I told you, as I told you, that agriculture you can say you got only so much of... so 30% goes to the account. 60% goes underground, and it is taken out by these agents. They get some commission. They were the commission agents of the ex-Maharajas. To take 300-400 years of history, will find they had been always the agents of this Maharajas of smuggling things. And this was started 1000 years back by Adi Shankara. You know Shankaracharya.
Yes, I've heard that.
He started 10 kinds of sannyasis, swamis, starting with spying.
Spying?
Spying?
Yes.
Because in the garb of a guru, you can go to any house, you can collect information of what is happening at the So he had this Dashanami sannyasis who had 10 political works, including spying.
And what were the other 9?
It is still continuing now. The same thing is still continuing. You look to any Swami or Guru, their work is the work for India government or the work for other governments.
It's incredible.
See, Mahesh Yogi and this man became do you know how Mahesh Yogi became a guru?
I've heard numerous stories, but...
no, I'll tell you.
Yes, please.
And that was the truth.
Yes.
He was to become one of the Shankaracharyas. He was selected to become one of the Shankaracharyas. Shankaracharya is just like bishops and popes, you know. They select people and then give them training. And Rajneesh was also to be the Jain Guru. He was selected to become the Jain Guru, and he was sent to colleges to get trained in philosophy and things. And later when he got addicted to narcotics, he was not given the saintship. Then he thought, let me myself become the God. That is how he became the...
How about Maharishi?
Yes, Maharshi Well, he could not get the Shankaracharya. There are 5 ashrams for Shankaracharya, and each set in each side of India,
Yes.
they have their own gurus.
Yes.
So he was to become a guru. He could not become a guru, and he was in the military. See, most of these godmen are from military, defense department.
Yes.
Who were working in defense department.
Yes.
This man was also working as a defense department. Then he left that, and he got dejected because he could not. And he went to Singapore. There he met Keatings, American ambassador.
Yes.
And
Who?
with American ambassador to India, Keatings. Keatings.
Keatings.
Keating, the American ambassador.
Oh, ambassador, not president.
No.
Yeah.
Indian ambassador.
Yes.
He met this man, and within 15 days he becomes a guru and comes to India. Now, where did he practice this? He says he was practicing yoga from his childhood. He never practiced.
You just made it up.
So, politically, these people are.
They just say, I'm a guru.
Yes. Most of the gurus, like Pilot Baba, he does this underground samadhi. He was a pilot. Most of the people are from the defense department.
I
So
look
some
forward to
people-
looking at your magazines. Is all of this going to be put on the internet? All of the back
Yes,
issues?
No, they are going to give the contents list and information. He is making and not only for internet, he wants to make a, what you call, for this 9 years, contents list
Yes.
to be published, because many people are asking, I don't have time also.
Yes.
He said he will help me.
Yes.
So he is doing it, almost done.
That's great. That's really great.
So we can ask them to look to this. It can be put into ABCD, then according to the gurus and
Right, and each name of the guru can
Yes.
say this volume, this number, this volume.
and most of the thing, nothing is published without records. Though we might not have published the records here, nothing is published without proper evidence.
Well, it's important to make
Yes.
copies of the evidence so it can't be burned in a fire or something. Well,
I have about 12 almirahs full with paper cuttings and letters and things.
You need a lot of
big almirahs.
you need some more volunteers to put it all on the internet,
Yes,
to
yes.
put it scanned into
Can't
computers.
go on the internet.
Any last questions anybody wants to ask? I want to thank you for doing the work that you do. It's very much appreciated.
That was, I was inspired by Dr. A.T. Cole.
By who?
Dr. A.T. Cole. A.T. Cole,
Cole.
who was my
Cole.
predecessor.
He was the national.
K-O-V-O-O-R. He was challenging people and exposing God-men. And at the time of his death, he had come to release my book about 2-3 years before. And he saw my work. He got said, you have done more than me. Why are you keeping? I did it as my hobby because I was interested to see whether there were any miracles. He said, you should use it for the hobby.
Yes.
And there was once I had to help him also because he had challenged 1 lakh, that is 100,000 rupees, anybody. So even such anybody in India will know Dr. Cole. They may not know me. They will know him. There was so much newspapers were also helpful to me. And all these Sai Baba devotees and other devotees joined together and challenged Dr. Cole to show this 1 lakh. That is 100,000 rupees. He didn't have 100,000 rupees. He said, if I fail in this, in my challenge, I'll have to sell my house and pay it. I'll pay it within 50 days. These people said, you have a house in Ceylon, how are you going to pay Indian rupees? So unless you show, don't go on with this fooling people. And it was published by all the newspapers at his death time. So he would have been completely destroyed.
Right.
So on that day he phoned me up. Premanand, what to do? My name is going to be completely destroyed because they find out.
Yes.
I had 1 lakh. So I sent a check next day. So here is my bring all this government.
And they didn't come. That's great. What can I say? Thank you again. It's a pleasure.
Oh, you want to shake hands? That I. No.
You want to do miracles? You want to do some magic tricks?
No, when you shook hands, I think I put it on. That's
No,
all.
I was just drinking. We have some small magic in the glasses and things.
Would I like to see magic? Or,
It is in my box. We'll meet.
yeah, I'd love, sure, I'd love
I
to
can
see.
show you some tricks.
That would be great.
Because you can keep this book also, that 150 miracles.
Yeah, that would be
So
great.
any
I
miracles
think
which
that's
you
over
want
here.
to know,
Great.
you can.
Let's put it here. Yeah.
And there will be 10 volumes. Then I will be explaining 1,000 miracles. It's the first volume
That's great.
with 150 tricks.
Now, do you have any, do magicians get angry at you for explaining tricks?
No.
Just some
I don't
magicians say,
explain magic tricks. I only explain miracles.
no.
They are misusing it, so they have to stop it.
Right,
So I tell them.
yes,
Then somebody wanted to take action against me.
yes,
Said you are this time your name will be removed from the magic association.
yes.
Said you are selling for 12 rupees, 50 tricks.
Right.
You don't charge 100 rupees per trick.
Mm-hmm. That was great. Yeah, I'd love to film some magic.
That I can give you now.
That would be
You
great.
have- you can see that.
Let me, I'm gonna change
And our
my,
central government wanted to make my interest in this is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna put in another tape.
You want to check this? You can run this back and see if you want to.
We'll do, maybe we'll just...
Yours is a smaller one. No?
Yes, it's a, I need to get...
Mine. See, 1989.
Let me
This
just...
I'm taking.
One second.